Hi, I'm Supermoon Tarot, and I don't know how your morning's going, but I just spent the last 10 minutes talking to my plants, moving them in the sunlight, only to look over and see my neighbor was watching me through my window. It was weird, and I did not like it. But thankfully, I stared them down, they looked away, and my plants are happy and shining in the beautiful sunshine. I've got a palm tree, I've been growing some white sage and basil, I've got a little cactus, and I got a couple other things going on. Actually, my boyfriend, because I guess he just really loves spicy food. I do too, but we're now growing 8 different kinds of peppers. It could be 9 if I recall. I don't know. I'm excited nonetheless. Guys, are you starting your gardens now? Consider growing a moss bed. It's really great for the environment. Either way, let's get to today's video, which is about uplifting messages from your spirit guides. That's right. We're keeping it positive. We're keeping it upbeat. What's going to help you feel motivated and hopeful right now? What's going to make you feel excited to create something while you're at home and chilling? What's something to look forward to? Whatever it is we're going to be talking about in today's video. As you can see, I've got 4 groups in front of us. We've got Red Desert Jasper in group number 1, Pyrite. Oh, look at the reflection of the butterfly. Pyrite in group number 2. We've got Pink Opal in group number 3, and we have Seafoam Calcite in group number 4. I'm going to give you a moment to pick the crystal or group that you connect with most. Okay, now that you've picked your group, we can start. You can go down to the description and skip to your designated group with its marked timestamp. Let's get started with group number 1. Group number 1, let's look at your uplifting message from your spirit guides by looking at the cards. We have the Fool card upright, the Hermit in reverse, the the 3 of Cups in reverse. Oh my gosh, spirit guides right now are just cracking me up. 9 of Cups in reverse, and the Strength card upright. Oh, I love this spread. Okay, this is awesome. You were going to crack up so much and when we talk about this, and I want to mention something funny that's going on right now with spirit guides. You're going to crack up. So anyways, let's first talk about the Fool card. The Fool card is great. It talks about how they just want you to focus on having kind of a very whimsical, don't think too deeply right now situation. Like, now is the time to kind of throw logic and overthinking and all of it out the window and kind of just have this deep understanding that it's like, you know what? If I believe everything's going to be okay, it's all going to be okay. You know what I mean? It's about having fun and throwing your cares out the window and understanding that sometimes the more you kind of let things go and have that deep kind of hope and understanding, and you could say faith, but I don't mean faith in like a spiritual sense. You can use it as that sense. I just meant like the general belief that everything's going to be okay. That's really kind of what you need right now. You need it cathartically to relieve some stress, but you also need it, that sense of funness to be a great distraction right now. So now is the time to just be silly, very whimsical, very childlike. Go play games, make stuff, do things that have no purpose. You know what I mean? Other than just to make you laugh. But the Fool card, and I'm going to pull some more cards about this. The Fool card, the direction it talks about, especially, oh my goodness, especially with what's going on over here, and we'll talk about that in a second, says that there is something for you to focus on right now. As much as you're going to have fun and be silly, there's something that you should give your attention to right now that you haven't done before. That can be a skill and hobby. This could be a mindset, whatever it is. It's something that you haven't explored yet, but you would be naturally good at. And now is the time to put your attention there because it will be more fruitful instead of what's going on over here. So I just wanted to pull some cards to get a better understanding. We have Knight of Pentacles upright, 7 of Swords upright, And the Death card upright. Oh my gosh, spirit guides have such a sense of humor right now. Okay, so this is going to sound a little bit flowery, what I'm about to say. I usually try to do the best I can to be as specific as I can, give actual occupations, actual hobbies, but I'm going to have to be a little bit flowery for this one, which is fine, because what I'm about to say to you is something that I want you to just kind of put in the back of your mind. You're going to live your life, don't overthink it, but when it pops up and you see it, and these characteristics sound familiar, that's what it is. Like, don't force it, don't overthink it. If it connects with you and resonates with you right now, awesome, go do it. But if you're like, I don't know what that specifically entails, just don't worry about it. You'll start working on an activity or doing something and then suddenly realize it's matching those characteristics and realize, oh, this is where I need to put my attention. And to be honest with you, this is the type of thing that you're naturally just going to find yourself interested in, so you're just kind of like inevitably moving that way anyways. So anyways, it's something that is going to take a decent amount of dedication and patience, so it's like a slower sort of activity, something that feels like you're doing it for the greater good, if that makes sense. Like it's, you feel like it's benefiting others. It has a bigger sort of purpose. It doesn't have to be about helping others. You know what I mean? But it seems like it has a bigger purpose than being so nonsensical, if that makes sense. Like it seems like it's adding up to something bigger. Feels larger than life. Now, it seems like it's something that involves separating multiple pieces, so you get the whole of something and you pull apart the pieces in order to understand that by analyzing them separately and seeing how they work together and they act individually and how they affect one another, it enables you to take on, how do I say this? It's like what feels like you're killing it and you're pulling it apart, in fact, helps give a new purpose, new meaning, new transformation to it. So it's about kind of like refurbishing something, giving something else a new home, a new concept, if that makes sense. It's definitely something you're going to have to be very strategical about. So you're not just like, you know how sometimes when you're like, if you're an artist or something like that and you're going about your flow and your thing, sometimes you don't have to think about it. You just put some paint to a brush and a canvas and you're living your life, and I mean, many artists would agree that it does take a lot of, sketching and well thought outness, but many times it doesn't. This is not that way. You would pull it apart and you'd think about it. You'd be like, but how can I use these resources most wisely? How can I effectively show other people the idea that I'm trying to convey? Whatever it is. You get what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Now going back to the rest of the spread. Okay. So this straight up says, please do not leave your home to go hang out with people because they're not worth it. Which is, the reason I'm laughing is because, I mean, it's not a coincidence that nearly every single spread I'm getting right now, spirit guides, and just so you know, when I pull cards, no matter what the spread is, I'm always trying to reach out to your guys' spread, I know that's not grammatically correct, your spirit guides in order to get the most objective, clear answers. And so this is straight up like, what's your opinion, not what they're going through, what's your personal opinion on them? And every spirit guide, no matter the situation, all of them are like, don't leave the house, please don't leave the house, isolate yourself. So they are saying there is the temptation that you're feeling good about yourself. You're like, you know what? I'm having fun. I want to go share that fun with other friends. Yeah, you know what? They'll isolate themselves. We'll hang out, but we'll do it from a distance, whatever. And this is saying, please don't do that, especially because it seems like these are friends that 6 months from now, you're going to be like, man, I shouldn't have not put myself at risk at this point. They were not worth it. So you're basically being told, stay the heck away from them. Stay away. I especially am telling you to stay away from them, especially when we have the strength card, because it seems like you are in good health right now. And that's just not something you want to risk at the moment. I'm feeling like a strong, like, just don't do it. Don't do it. These are not the ones that are worth it. So now we go over here to the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups in reverse basically says that you need to be aware of your mindset at this time period and gain a certain sense of perspective, because you're finding yourself bored, dissatisfied, but everything's fine. You have enough. You have a lot of things around you. In fact, you're being told that you do have everything you could possibly need, and you're not acknowledging that. So it's like feeling like you're bored and not realizing there's a cool website you can go on right now. Maybe you don't know the website off the top of your head, you need to find it, but it's there, and you can explore and learn things and develop some new skills and traits like we talked about with the Fool card. And you need to change your perspective from saying, man, there's just nothing to do, there's nothing here, there's nothing great, and just switch it around and go, you know what, there's potential here. I need to understand what that potential is and how to, use it to my advantage, but it's here. You know what I mean? This is also just like a positive message that like everything's fine and everything's going to be fine, especially when it's looking towards the strength card. The strength card basically says you're in good health, you're going to be doing great right now, you're going to keep staying healthy, but it is implying that it is important right now that you keep it up by taking care of your body. So consider doing things at home like, yoga, workout tapes, meditation, or any sort of exercise at all, sit-ups, doesn't matter. Maybe you have a fun a dance program on your like video game console or something like that, or you like to dance in general. It's about understanding that this time period, while you feel like you're unsettled because you're kind of trapped, and you're being told to stay at home, understand that sometimes we're put in a position in order to just okay, example, you wouldn't normally be so quiet and have so much time to think. And that's very uncomfortable at first. And you're basically being told, yes, but this is a good thing right now. Give that attention. Keep taking time to just have quiet moments. You need it right now. It's going to keep adding up to beneficial, after effects, if that makes sense. Keep doing that. And keep your brain stimulated. Don't just consume things purely that are like 5-second videos. They're great, they're wonderful, they're not a bad thing in the least. Have fun like we talked about, but do something stimulating like we talked about in the Fool card, where while you want to have fun, you also want to try looking for that thing that you didn't know you were good at, that you have no experience in. Develop an interest, develop a sort of hobby, because when your brain is stimulated, it positively affects your soul, and if your body is taken well care of, it can then have the energy to help those other things, and each thing is benefiting the other. You need that right now. It's a great distraction. It will make you feel good, and you will better understand how you and your body and your soul and everything is all in sync. It's all in sync, all positively affecting each other, and you can give that the time and attention it needs, and understand how you can give that even more strength, even more power, and see how there's even more positive side effects from doing that so actively. So yeah, overall, really cool and positive. I'm excited for you. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like, comment, subscribe. It helps out like you would not believe. Have a lovely day. I will see you in the next one, and let's get ready for group number 2. Group number 2, let's find out the uplifting messages from your spirit guides by looking at the cards. We have the Wheel of Fortune. This is actually one of my single favorite Wheel of Fortune cards. It just is such an amazing take on the subject, and I think it expresses so much more successfully than other versions of Wheel of Fortune cards. I love it so much. Ooh, that's a great combination. The Magician card upright, 3 of Swords in reverse, Page of Wands upright, and the Fool card in reverse. That's not bad, by the way. Okay, so let me pull some more cards, because here's the thing. So if you're a tarot reader, this little tip and trick. So even if a card is in reverse, it does not mean you need to read it in reverse, because sometimes cards are in reverse in order to display another message. They're still like acting as an upright. They're like trying to get your attention somewhere else, if that makes sense. And, you'll know when you need to read it as such. You get what I'm saying. So anyways, let's understand Queen of Pentacles, upright, King of Pentacles in reverse, and the Tower in reverse. Okay, exactly what I thought. This is beautiful. Okay, this is a bit of a repetitive message in a good way, but it actually makes the whole thing come together. I love that. This is you could think of this as our thesis, and we'll be talking about this in a second. So let's talk about all this good stuff I'm seeing. So first off, right here is like our end-all, be-all, fantastic, positive. Guess what? Everything's fine. Everything's going to be fine for you. In fact, it's going to be more than fine. It's going to be fantastic, magical. Everything seems to be working in your way. See, the thing is, in life, some things are fated, some things can be changed, and there's a whole lot of chaos in between. And when it comes to luck and good fortune, that's quite chaotic. It doesn't always mean because bad things happen that it was a life lesson or it was you did something bad. That's not always the case. Maybe in the grand scale of the whole like life, but you might not know that until after you're dead. Do you see what I'm saying? So in this case, though, I mean, let's just be honest, chaotic or not, when we have just like natural good fortune coming our way, heck yeah, we want to take advantage of it. Who cares? Don't question it. Just go with it. So we're being told that you have some good fortune in your system. This is when things just seem to kind of work out for you. It just seems like when you take advantage of an opportunity or go out of your way to do something, it's just going to be a yes, just because good fortune's working your way. And then in addition to that, we got the Magician card. We have got a little bit of like, think of this as you worked hard for it. You know, this is something you were proactive about, and this is just kind of like spin the wheel. I mean, Wheel of Fortune, spin the wheel, random. Uh, it just happens to be working your way. So you've got like double good luck going on. See, the Magician card is amazing because it implies that all this work you've been doing, or you will be doing, we'll be talking about this because over here talks about how you're going to be working on something right now in order to fully become the Magician. You're right there. You're almost there. You've worked very hard. But the Magician card is somebody who is able to make the invisible visible. They understand every single element, and they understand how they work together, how they work separately. They have everything they need, and they don't need anything more or less in order to be somebody who's able to successfully manifest, make everything they want to work out for them. This is somebody who's able to make everything work out for them because they've got a combination of likability, they are experienced, they have a sense of understanding, there's a sense of healing that they've gone through that's given them a deeper sense of wisdom. And it's like a whole lot of things going on that are all being worked on together, if that makes sense, all at once. This is what I would like to describe as when you're the magician, you're in it. You're making it happen. You're going with the flow. It just seems like, and you're very confident about it too, because you're very aware of how hard you worked in order to get there. And the thing that's so cool going on is when we have the Three of Swords, this is sort of like your blockage. And so this implies you're going to be working on a blockage right now. And this is the last thing that's in your way that's going to then make you be the magician, which is so cool. Because the thing with magician is you might heal this and feel totally fine and feel like a perfectly sound, normal person. You're no longer hurting, but that doesn't mean you're the magician. You, though, there's something magical going on with you. You've done a lot of hard work in your life and other lifetimes, and it's adding up. Does that make sense? So we have somebody, so it seems like things, if you go out of your way to make things happen or reach out and try to do stuff, you've got some good stuff just naturally working your way. And as you work on this, you're going to be in the right mindset, right energy, right experience, right skills, a lot of other things in order to then manifest and make that happen. And you might say, just to state the obvious, because a lot of us are like at home right now, you can still accomplish things even if you're at home. You can still send things out and watch them grow, whether that be, I know it's silly, but a lot of people care about making videos online right now for silliness and they want to see it get popular. You can do that. You can make that happen if that's what you want. If you want to work on right now, like a small business that you want to see grow, do that. Make it work out. Things are going to be working out in your advantage right now. Resources are going to be easier to come by. Things are going to be cheaper. People are going to be more interested in purchasing your product despite the circumstances. Understand that is what I'm saying. So let's get to the elephant in the room, the Three of Swords. Now, I'm so sorry for whatever pain you went through. See, the thing with the Three of Swords is, yes, it can totally describe a relationship situation that involves cheating. But here's the thing. And this is a general reading, I'm not seeing enough cards that say that's directly the problem. It feels like, to me, the main source of the problem is just a general sense of betrayal. It just feels like you were hurt on such a core level that it kind of broke your, like, you could say, trust with other people. Your brain went, I didn't know someone could be like that, if that makes sense. And it really hurt you. Now, the thing is, when the Three of Swords is in reverse, this is when somebody is trying to move on prematurely before the pain is healed. Understandable, because nobody has time for that. Nobody wants to, they're like, I don't have time to cry anymore. I don't have time to dig deep into something that might take a little while to overcome. Here's the thing, though. Your spirit guides are like, guess what? You've got no other choice right now. Now is the time. Now is the time to stop covering it up and face it, understand it in order to heal and move on, because you get to be the magician. You're almost there. Don't let your pain grow and kind of leak over into the other parts of your life. If we see the magician with all the different elements here, think of that pain leaking over into the other elements, and then you go from somebody who just needs to heal one thing into going back to everybody else who needs to heal a million things before they get to be the magician, if that makes sense. So we have the Page of Wands. This is somebody who's excited. They don't really know what they're doing, but they're pumped about it, and they're taking a hold of this endeavor, and they're like, you know what, I'm going to go for it. Who cares if I don't have the right supplies and I don't know what I'm doing? I'm going to make it happen. This is the type of attitude your spirit guides want you to take right now with this pain. It's going into it with a positive mindset, with good intentions of being like, you know what, I know I'm going to feel better after the end of this. I'm going to make it happen. And that sort of enthusiasm and just unfiltered hope is what's going to push you through, and realize you don't need to be very qualified. You don't need to worry about how long it will take. What do you need to do? What do you need? Just go in with it. That sort of whimsical young spirit, that sometimes is the very thing that can be the solution, if that makes sense. Like, sometimes when we feel stressed out, we need to have an answer. We need to sit down, plan everything, solve it, be very analytical about it. And sometimes we need to throw it all out the window and forget about it completely. Very much like the Fool card. And, oh my gosh, Spirit guides, I just got what you were saying, like the Fool card. And you're kind of basically being asked to do that at this point in time, to have that sort of energy when you're going into it. Now, this is what the thesis is. Because like we talked about the Fool card, so remember, think of the Fool card upright. The Fool card is saying, listen, I want you to go into this endeavor, understand that as you heal from this pain, in order to have, make this all work to your advantage and manifest a lot of great things in your life. Remember, you can manifest anything. Be pretty open with it. It doesn't have to just be a career or relationship. It can be good feelings, just general abundance. It could be cool resources for a project you're working on. It could be, if you want to manifest clout, whatever, go for it. But this is somebody who jumps into a situation and they are not really experienced, and yet they just seem to be naturally good at it because they don't put any pressure on themselves. So because they don't put any pressure on themselves, they're able to kind of flow and bend with the universe, and their instincts and mindset are a lot more acute because they're not trying to smother it out with low self-esteem or overthinking it. That's very much the mindset going on into the pain, if that makes sense. So with that energy, we've got this over here. So Queen of Pentacles, again, manifest. This is somebody, and this just shows me that, I'll be honest with you, when we have this combination, I'm talking about an empath right here, because this is somebody who is able to manifest. Yes, she's a queen, but she is so good at making something out of nothing, very much like the magician, and she's very skilled and able to do a lot of things with her hands, but she is generous and then feels the desire to share that with others. So it talks about your future success in manifestation and just general success in general. But when someone finally feels better and their first instinct is to want to share that happiness and success with others, and yet they also, when they're in their worst time period in their life, they can feel such a deep level of pain because they can fathom it, because they fully understand and can connect to emotions on such a deep level, both personally and with other people. We got an empath. That's all I'm saying. So this is like a positive thing. But as you can see by the cards, we have the King of Pentacles. This is saying that right now is your stay-at-home time period. But here's the thing. This is somebody who is not making moves and staying home and recuperating because they understand that just because they're not moving forward doesn't mean they aren't building energy. Think of your healing like that. You're charging up, you're building, you're building. It's going to burst, it's going to become something, as we've talked about, but you're not, what feels stagnant, what feels like you're regressing, what feels painful, is actually, in fact, a building of energy. You're moving forward, even if in the moment it doesn't seem that way. Does that make sense? It's like a perspective thing. Going forward, then we have the Tower in reverse. The Tower in reverse is fantastic. It's about overcoming a long-standing issue. So this pain's been with you for a while, and when we got the Tower in reverse, that is some deep pain. That's some big pain going on. Don't be afraid to consider this pain something that might be even like childhood related. Whatever it is, now is the time to face it, deal with it, understanding you're building, you're going to acclimate all your energy resources in order to create something amazing and fantastic. But to help you through that healing, understand you should come at it with a hopeful kind of like, I'm going to make this work energy that isn't too well thought out. If you need to cry one moment and then bounce around and be happy the next, go with that sort of whimsical nature. It's going to be the right type of healing you need. It's your process, if that makes sense. And sometimes we need to like cry and then take a break from our crying and just have fun. Does that make sense? So yeah. Anyways, very awesome, very positive. So excited for you and this fantastic future. Oh my goodness, if this is not a match made in heaven, I don't know what is. Either way, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out like you would not believe. Have a lovely day. I will see you in the next one. And let's get ready. Oh, don't forget to give the video a like, comment, subscribe. Wait, did I say that? You know what I'm saying. Let's get ready for group number 3. Group number 3. Let's look at the uplifting messages from your spirit guides by looking at the cards. We have 5 of Swords upright, Queen of Wands upright, the Sun upright, Wheel of Fortune upright, and 4 of Cups in reverse. Oh, oh, I love this. This is so on the nose for what's going on right now. Okay, this is great. This is awesome. So first off, let's talk about your mindset, because your spirit guides, this is like, this is in general less of a premonition and more of a just like reassurance. I mean, I guess it's a little bit of like a premonition for sure, because it's like the comforting message of like everything's gonna be fine, but it's more of like a hug from your spirit guides. So let's start here with the 5 of Swords, which I just want to make perfectly clear this is not with someone else, because I'm feeling more this is inside yourself. Yep. Totally is. Okay, so let's get into this over here. So 5 of Swords is when we are battling something out, either with somebody else or internally within ourselves. It's like, okay, something's changing. I don't like it. I want to defend myself, but it can kind of be a bit negative because it's less defensive and more offensive. And not in a good way. It's like acting before you've gotten the full picture, being a little kind of like harsh and not afraid to hit below the belt, even internally within yourself, because you think, well, if I attack myself, you know, before I can even overthink it, then I can somehow prepare. But in reality, you're attacking yourself. Nothing's happened yet. You're predicting you're going to freak out. You're thinking you're going to be stressed out. I know you probably have a past, and so you're preparing it for it. You're like, no, I have proof. But that's the thing. You're not giving it a chance to even exist and then process and go, well, how can I handle this sort of feeling now? You know what I mean? When we have the Temperance card underneath it, I just wanted to double check you weren't fighting it out with somebody else. No, this is an internal thing. Temperance card is just all about balance. And understandably, right now, it feels overwhelming. Do I have enough of this? It's very much the proper amount of proportions mixed in the right combination. So this is a combination of scheduling a lot of different things going on all at once. But it's about finding balance by understanding that some things need a little bit, some things need a lot of it, some things only need it every other day, some things need it every second of every day, and it can feel overwhelming. And so it feels like you're trying to battle that right now. You're trying to be like, okay, do I have enough of these resources? Am I taking care of myself enough? I'm giving myself too much free time. I'm losing my mind. You know what I mean? And it just kind of is overwhelming right now. So this is when your spirit guides basically step in and are like, you have got this. Don't worry. When we have the Sun card in reverse, this is unfortunately shows apathy, just feeling displeased, dissatisfied, not pumped about your situation. Same thing over here with the Four of Cups in reverse. This is like the idea of being in a bad mood, but we're going to talk about it actually being out of a bad mood for good reasons, and that positive premonition we did talk about a little bit. So when you're not happy, not great, the thing that with the Sun card is, it's still a weirdly positive thing. Like the Nine of Cups in reverse, both essentially say, yeah, you're not happy, you're not in a good mood, but actually everything's fine, and it's more a perspective change on your end. You just need to look around and realize there is the potential to hold on to and be surrounded by optimism. It's there. You just need to look, and not everything's lost, not everything's hopeless. There are fun things to do. There are things that can reassure you and give you what you need. In fact, actually, this is the hint that this is what you need right now. Yes, in life, do we need schedules, need the right proportion of resources and how our energy is spent? Completely. But sometimes it's by comforting one part of ourselves that then gives us the strength and kind of groundedness in order to properly handle this sort of, collective idea over here in the Temperance card. You know what I mean? But because you're taking this attitude, it just doesn't feel great right now. The way you're we talk about the whole attacking ourselves inwardly. So we talk about the idea that everything's great, it's there, you got to take hold of it. What do we have right next to it? Queen of Wands. She is the queen of taking care of things. She is the queen of being proactive. She is the queen because she has experience and energy. You've done this before. This is the reassurance, both being like, listen, you think that you need, wow, Spirit is just channeling through me so hard right now. You need, sorry, I get very distracted when it happens. When you are saying, I'm pre-prepared for my negative emotions, so that's why I'm already attacking myself, because I'm worried about X, Y, and Z. Well, then you already have experience comforting yourself. Yeah, you have been through this before, and somehow you always make it through. You're going to make it through again. You have the experience, but more importantly, you have the capability, you have the fire inside you in order to take advantage, it's like not feeling pumped about anything in particular, and kind of being your inner cheerleader and being like, no, we're going to do this. We're going to fight this apathy. We're going to fight this sort of attitude. Well, I don't know how I'm going to do it. We're going to figure it out. She's the queen because she not only has a great game plan and people trust her and like her, you know what I mean? So it's basically your spirit guides are pouring you with compliments right now, being like, you're so cool, you're so great, you're so magnetic, you're so energetic and passionate and positive normally, which often causes us anxieties. It's too much energy everywhere. But it's also saying the queen, if she sees that other people aren't able to accomplish the task that needs to be done, she'll get it done herself. Don't think that other people need to be the solution to your problem. You don't need to wait for someone to come in and give you the thing that's going to be the answer. It's not, by the way, this is not, your spirit guides are not accusing you of being take care of yourself. Not like that at all. It's saying, it's a hopeful message of being it can happen. You can wait for somebody to come around to make you feel better, or you can do something about it right now, and then when that person comes to try to make you feel better, they can join the fun party and add to that positive mindset. So be proactive, understand that those positive resources, fun things around you, a good movie, funny jokes, things that will help give you the sort of relief that you need right now are there. Reach out, go find it. Understand that you've done it before, and understand that that sort of energy and calming effect is going to help sort this whole mindset as well as actual, like, because we do need to focus on resources, our energies, things like that. That balancing game and sense of schedule is always going to be there, but it will naturally work itself out, and you'll have a better way of approaching it with a better perspective, and handle that easier, if that makes sense. Then we have over here, Four of Cups, incredibly positive because it talks about a bad mood, but it talks about coming out of a bad mood. But here's the cool thing. Why are you coming out of a bad mood? Because we've got the Wheel of Fortune. This is, first of all, just like good luck. Things are going to work your way. You're going to be fine. Just like a positive, like, reassurance of like, you've got this. You're going to be good. It just seems like fate is working in your advantage right now. But also, the Wheel of Fortune talks about the idea of cycles. Your spirit guides are lovingly going, listen, there's always going to be ups and downs, and then there's going to be ups agains. This is just a time period where it seems like it's down, but that doesn't mean it's the end. Don't view it as that. Understand it is just a temporary thing, and it will swivel right around before you know it. Understand that, hold on to that, let that cheer you up, give that more focus than the down feeling, if that makes sense. So overall, everything's going to be fine. I see you coming out of this mindset with some, useful stuff. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out like you would not believe. Either way, have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And let's get ready for group number 4. Group number 4. Let's look at the uplifting messages from your spirit guides by looking at the cards. We have 6 of Pentacles upright, 5 of Cups in reverse, 10 of Cups upright, the Fool in reverse, and 3 of Pentacles upright. I cannot stop laughing. The spirit guides are so... My goodness. If you ever wonder if this is real, like, I don't know how to explain it to you, but like literally every one of my spreads are like telling people like, stay home, isolate yourself. So I can't help but laugh because this is like a total side note, so sorry about this short ramble, but when you get into this stuff, I was once a skeptic, and then, I had a lot of crazy experiences. I'm potentially might do a video one day about it in order to explain that. It's really amazing. You get into this stuff, and the general idea is that every time I still experience things, whether it be a synchronicity or a crazy experience or a prophetic dream, it's wild. It never loses its charm and magic, and it's just really fun, and I love it. So that's why I'm very yeah, if you want to get into it, enjoy it with me. It's so fun. Anyways, so let's get into the interesting mindset here, because this does involve other people. Now, this can range from anything from your family to friends to a loved one, but it's all about being with other people right now in a small group, obviously. But we have kind of some fun things going on over here. I'm trying to think about where I want to start. Okay, so first off, it talks about you were previously or are currently, you're going to be coming out of it essentially. You kind of just a general sense of like grief. Now it can talk about loss, so maybe you went through something difficult, but it just doesn't feel like that heartbreak, betrayal sort of loss. It's like more of a depressant. It is low energy, it's grief, it's this feeling of like, oh, I hate that this happened. This really brought me down. Well, when it's in reverse, it's about accepting that and then being able to move on. You know what I mean? So I can see you coming out of that mindset, that sort of feeling, just finally being like, it happened, what can I do? Or I'm over this grief I'm feeling anymore. And I see positively moving towards the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is just like rainbows and sunshine. It is just a great happy home. This is happiness shared with other people. So this is, again, like we talked about, whoever you're hanging out with right now and tight quarters. This can be, a significant other. This could be a friend, a roommate. It just feels like there's just going to be like really fun bonding, really happy vibe. This is, if it's romantic, it's a lot of cuddling. If it's friendship wise, it just feels like you're really close and feel very communal and silly. It's just simplistic happiness at its finest, but very, 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 very high energy. And just really in general, loving is going to be the vibe for you. So very positive shift from that. Keep in mind that shift and change does happen from accepting and understanding that you didn't feel great and kind of accepting it in order to let it go and move on, and then open yourself up for this, just to be clear about that. But that idea continues. We've got the Fool card. The Fool card is jumping into the Three of Pentacles, which I absolutely love. When we have the Fool card, this is somebody who is moving into a task with a really free-spirited energy. They just are silly, they're not overthinking it, and it's one of those things. Have you ever met somebody who just seems to kind of always naturally have things work out for them well? They just go for it. They don't think about it too deeply. They don't have any ego about it. And they just kind of laugh and are surprised at themselves when they, successfully make a basket shot into a hoop or try something out. It's because the Fool's card and energy is like, if I don't put pressure on myself or overthink what this is going to mean or what it is, then in turn, I will see positive results because my intuition will work better, my brain will be able to better connect to the task at hand. I'll be kind of like, I like to think of this card as, I have the personal belief that we can accomplish anything. You can do what I can do, and I can do what you can do if we were given the right information, time. But if you want to get deeper about it, like that idea of like we're all one, higher consciousness, it's like in the brain, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's just like untapped potential. So when we have the Fool card, it's like being in that flow naturally and being able to take these tasks head on really easily, really well because of that sort of free spirit energy. So that sort of fun, whimsical nature gets brought into a task that it seems like you're going to be doing with other people. Now, during this time period, don't be surprised if this task is very silly and fun. Maybe you guys work on a dance together. Maybe you guys play a game together. Whatever it is, it's this idea of working on something in order to expand upon an idea, a project. It doesn't have to be very deep. It can involve work. It totally can involve work and feeling really close to your coworkers at this time due to this sort of whimsical, fun nature you're all bringing in. Completely. It can completely mean that. But either way, it seems like you're going to basically be coming out of a bad mood, having a great time, coming at it with a really just like, oh, who cares sort of fun nature. Everything's going to be working out smoother, easier for you than you've ever known. You're going to be kind of learning from this and realizing that after all this blows over, you can bring that sort of energy into other things and how skilled you are at it. And you're going to be feeling a sense of bonding through building something with other people, which is so sick and cool. But then we have the Six of Pentacles over here. Six of Pentacles essentially says that during this time period, you're going to want to go out of your way to be a little bit generous. Now, it doesn't mean generous as in just purely things. Remember, things can involve food. It can involve energy. It can involve anything. There's just a sense of you giving at this time period because that sense of generosity is going to lead to some unexpected, it looks like you're going to be getting some sort of like present, some sort of opportunity from all this fun and silliness and generosity going on. You're going to be receiving something, not this very second, it's going to take a little while. Spirit guides are trying to show me something. I don't get it. It's gold and it's a ball. Oh, I can't get it. Sorry. Sometimes they try to send me stuff and it's not always clear. I just see a lot of gold. Um, Anyways, doesn't matter. Uh, Keep that in mind. So going on, sorry, I'm very distracted by them right now. But I want to keep clear about something though. The Six of Pentacles understands how to be generous and also understands when to put up boundaries and understands when. So don't think you hear this spread and then you're just going to go out and give all your time and energy. Do not let yourself run, dry of resources and energy internally. Make sure you understand when you need to be like, hey, I need some space alone, I need to take a nap. Know when to say when, if that makes sense. And know when you don't want to give something away, don't give it away. You're not being selfish by doing that. But like, have fun. Go out of your way to share the things that you have, whatever that may be, as we've discussed. And understand that with that sort of positive nature, all this fun you're going to be having, all this closeness, all this like love and bliss going on, and this sort of mentality is going to be leading. It's interesting. We don't have any cards that relate to karma, but it's very much that mentality of like you get back what you give, if that makes sense. It's that very much that vibe going on, which is really cool. So yeah, have fun, have a great time. Just I'm excited for you. Just overall really positive. Anyways, if you enjoyed this reading, please consider giving it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. Either way, have a lovely day. I will see you in the next one. Bye.